Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. This is Mike Miller Talks Life. The quote today: hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. It's a long one. Hope is being able to see there is light despite all the darkness. It seems like there's so much darkness in our world. And I'm not a doom and gloom kind of guy and all that, but boy, it just feels dark. It feels like chaos. Conflict is common, and hatred of those who have a different opinion is on the rise. There are so many places in our world that appear to be almost ready to break out into war. And it feels like if it starts, it'll be like a chain reaction of other countries being pulled in. I was attending a meeting about drug use, and these experts were talking about the leading drug of the day is fentanyl, and hundreds of deaths occur daily because of fentanyl. It's just terrible what's happening, and it's primarily our younger people that are being affected by this. Our government just is coming off so incompetent, and I've never been one to speak against the government. I don't know. I just haven't done that. But it just appears like they're unable to pull things off, do things for the common good of our country. There's so much illness, and it seems like we're not able to counter it well. We're in a dark time. My profession, before I retired, I was a pastor of a church, and the church is supposed to be in the hope business, and yet many churches are struggling as well. They seem to be unsure about what needs to be done and what their role is, and many have jumped on the bandwagon of the most current issues of the day, but they have nothing to offer because they've gotten away from what they're really supposed to be about. I like this quote. Hope is being able to see there is light despite all the darkness. I was born and raised in Alaska, and you could be out on a very dark night, and often, in spite of the heavy darkness, you could see a light far away. And as you moved closer, often we would discover that it was a small cabin tucked away in the hills with a light on, and you can see it for miles away. People with hope can see the light no matter how dark it becomes. They're not creating the light. They see the light that's there. They see the hope that's coming, and it keeps them going. It prevents them from being caught up in darkness, being overwhelmed. They're not just people who look on the bright side, optimistic, though they do that, but hope people are captured by hope. They're controlled by hope. They're driven by hope. And it shapes their whole life. They're confident, they're strong, able to face hardship, and they're able to make a difference in the world and people around them. I personally believe the darkness will continue to grow, making hope more important than ever before. In searching for hope and in talking about hope with people who need it and those who have lost the hope that they had, I have learned hope comes from God. I know, many of you don't believe in God. I'm just saying, from my personal experience, I see hope as coming from God. I believe we often build our hope on things that cannot provide true hope. We need something outside ourselves, something that does not fade away, something that will not let us down, something bigger and greater than us. Most self-help programs, 12-step groups, speak of a higher power because they know they need something outside themselves to believe in. Contemporary idolatry is growing. People are placing hope, trust, confidence in things like money and people and material possessions, abilities, careers, relationships. And all of these are good things, wonderful things, enjoyable things. They certainly have a role in our life, but they can be taken away. We can lose them and lose our hope if our hope is tied up in them. Many people hope in government. They hope in a political agenda. But governments and political agendas throughout our history have come and gone. But their search on the part of people shows me that many are looking for a hope. They feel the hopelessness, the darkness, the increasing brokenness of our world. And they're looking for something to cling to. Well, I believe there is a God. I believe there are many small gods that we put our faith in, our trust in, things we think will pull us through. But I believe there is a God, the one true God, and he is eternal. He's powerful. He's trustworthy. He became flesh, one of us, and he conquered our greatest fear of death, sin, and promises to return to set up a new world and a new order of things. And since he died and rose from the dead, I believe what he says. I've chosen to trust in him. I believe hope comes from God, but I believe hope is built on faith. Faith is about belief and expectations. Faith is only as good as its object, and so we need to put our faith in something trustworthy, something that will satisfy our expectations. We put faith in things and people, and we're disappointed. If you've ever been in a band, musical group, we put our trust and faith in these people to show up and play their part. We get a job and we put trust in our coworkers. We put trust and have expectations in our family, our marriage partner. But these are mere humans, and there is a limit. And many times they don't come through for whatever reason. And we're not saying it's okay, it's good or bad or whatever. It's just that it's not the best place to put your faith, your expectations. I expect things from God, and he comes through on the things he has promised. And this builds my confidence, and it builds my hope. It makes my hope more sure. Faith is a powerful element in the world of hope. The other thing I've learned, though, is that hope looks forward to the future. I don't like the darkness around us. I find it overwhelming at times. Yet I look forward to the future, and I see the light in the future. One day, God will break through and set things right, and that's my hope, and that is for many of you. This is what I look forward to. I like the song that Mama Cass, a member of the famous group Mamas and the Papas, she sang, "There's a new world coming, and this one's coming to an end." I don't know exactly what she was singing about, but for me, it reminded me of my future hope, the future hope that followers of Christ have. I look forward to many things in this life. I look forward to seeing new people get voted into government because I hope they'll make a change for the better. I look forward to changes in our economy so that it's not so uncertain. I look forward to seeing my friends, my family, But I also look beyond these things. They're not all I have. I look past them and I look to a future, a time when some amazing things will happen, when God does what he has planned all along to do. I keep my hope alive and growing by spending time with people who hope like I do. And they're out there. And this is just so encouraging. I also work on my relationship with God to keep it real and fresh. He's where my hope is. And I look for signs of hope in my daily life, reminders of what is coming. When I become discouraged because of the darkness, and because I've taken my eyes off my hope and looked at the world, and it's like, oh man, what a mess. I just remind myself, this is not my hope. My hope is coming. It's out there. It's that light. And when I'm out among people who do not have real lasting hope, I want my hope to shine through for them. But hope does not make us irresponsible. It's not like we can just sit around and who cares about this world, our society, our culture. No, I believe we're here to help. I believe people with hope have the most to offer. I think we should pitch in, help solve problems. That's part of what we're for. We have good solutions. I don't believe my hope allows me or gives me the right to be angry with culture and lead me to attack culture and our leaders and judge them and condemn them. I believe my role and the role of all people who are filled with the hope that comes from God is to share the hope, to point the way, to find their hope. Are you overwhelmed by the ever-increasing darkness? Frightened as you look around and see what's happening? Discouraged because what you have looked to for hope has failed you? Turn to God. Seek him. He will allow himself to be found by you. And he gives hope. The darkness will remain, but you will be able to see the light, and that will make a major difference in your life. Hope is being able to see there is light despite all the darkness. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I know that we're in a time when we really need some hope, and maybe this has brought a little bit to you to show you that there is hope, and hope can really make a positive difference in our life. And it will help you see the light that's far in the future that's coming. Maybe share this with somebody who's pretty discouraged, pretty down. Maybe the things they've hoped in have faded and they're floundering. There's plenty of hope for everybody. It's not about religion. It's not about a bunch of rules. It's not about a bunch of corrupt leaders. It's about a connection to the one true God. And that's why I shared this. I rarely go full-blown Christian in my message, in my little YouTube videos, but I really felt the need to say something about true hope. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked it, I hope you click like and follow if you don't. Share it with somebody. That's always totally fine. And until next time, keep yourself safe.